Weary kicked Dom dead in the nuts. She got me, gasping, sinking to his knees, foot the saw, groin the base, pinky pressed him, and he went crashing. Steel-toed docks and all, the ones she only wore on special occasions, stamping over him. She shoved him the bird, screamed a few choice profanities, and she was gone. Earlier that day, Weary taught Sal how to plant a tree. Not a tree yet, more of a stem, a shoot, off the base of the dead, near century-old box elder maple, which stood 40-plus feet, split and bare in their front yard, 4 miles north of Boston, towering like the Grim Reaper over Dom's American dream, his red Mustang, and his Victorian home. She carved away a layer of dirt, added a touch of fertilizer and some peat moss, then cultivating the roots, she carved around a wall of soil to help the earth digest the late spring rain. "I'm going to show you something," Weary told Sal, a 16-year-old toothpick with curious eyes and tousled dark hair. Sunny outside, yet still chilly. Weary, wearing shorts and a tank top, seized a twig, then carved a picture of a wasp in the dirt along a bed of bristly Queen Anne's lace. Swiftly, a yellow jacket foundress rose from the flower bed like a spirit from a pyre, fluttering past Sal's face, circling Weary's thin frame and circling again and again, as if briefly captive in a glass jar. Not unhappy, not hurrying to escape, the foundress reflexively buzzed back over to Sal, ducking. Weary, noticing Sal's uneasiness, calmly extended her arm. The foundress, charmed by the gesture, flew back, resting silently still on Weary's arm. "Don't be afraid. You don't scare her. Fear does. So if you don't fear her, then you won't scare her, and she won't sting you. Right. She won't sting you. You won't fear her, and she will love you." Weary's arms stayed suspended, the wasp still silent, still sitting, still dreamlike. Dom opened the back door, summoning, "Weary, are we going to eat today or what?" And suddenly, ending the daydream, the foundress zoomed up the trunk of the old box elder maple and disappeared into a tiny pit in the tree's heart. "You're hungry already? You just had breakfast." "Breakfast? That was an appetizer." Dom would die of starvation before cooking something himself. "Start cooking the pasta already, I'm hungry." Weary winked at Sal, then stood up. "But Dom, what? Don't you want to see what we planted?" Dom looked down at the infantile maple tree and said, "Great, just great. Another little shoot to feed." Early morning, Saturday, July 4th, Dom pushed aside the lace curtain Weary had put up months earlier and saw that overnight a king-size bow descended the deceased maple and flattened his flashy red Ford Mustang like a pizzella cookie. That's it, Dom burst in. "Sal, get up. We're cutting that son of a bitch down right now, Sal. Mark my words." Startled, Sal sat up. He'd seen this before. "So what do you need me for?" "I need rope. Grease the chainsaw while you're at it and tighten that damn thing this time, will you? Remember what happened last time? Damn thing nearly took my leg off." I remember. Hold on, I'm trying to think." "I got an idea, Sally boy. Go stand over there and tell me which way this thing is leaning." Sal stood 30 yards away. Dom was no arborist. Sal knew that even just a quick YouTube search would have given old Dommy boy a leg up. But not only was Dom a Gavadosta, but he was also by trade a smoke cigarettes and point fingers type of guy. It seemed stupid, Dom not knowing which way the tree leaned, but from 30 yards out, Sal saw this thing had this awkward S shape to it. Sal couldn't definitively say which way it leaned. It leaned everywhere. Dom, impatient as hell, already fired up the chainsaw, and now that thing rumbling two-stroke sound flooded his ears, and astute unawareness to words, rational thought, or anything remotely associated with common sense had already conquered his conscience. Finally, like a wannabe gladiator, he clamored, "I'm taking this son of a bitch down, mark my words." And just like that, Dom's pinky only pressed the old maple and it tipped. Sal still stood still and silent and still, time stilted, and as bitter sunlight flashed, slashing branches, seen by the entire neighborhood, it seemed time reeling through an old film left Sal still silent, still standing, still seeing in slow motion the massive tree tip slowly, as if Sal had let it go, lost his grip, as if Sal had let gravity win. How slowly things fall at first. as if waiting, they hope something will catch them, waiting for something to stop them. When nothing does, they pick up more speed on their way down. Who polices nature? Who polices gravity? And so the old box elder, seemingly the last of its kind in the neighborhood, fell faster now, and good old Dombey boy, still clueless, still juiced, still crouched there in a drunken dreamlike state, middle finger still firmly on the trigger, staring at the whirling, rusty chains still spatting tiny wood chips. Meanwhile, before him, the deceased 40-foot freak of nature gathered speed. The light kept slashing limbs and the reel kept spinning faster and faster and faster. The old tree fell until it finally stopped, crashing square into the widow's peak of Dom's material magnum opus, his American dream, everything he wished for when he was a little boy in Calabria, everything he was promised when he was sent over to live with his relatives already settled in the States. Damn thing tore right through the gable. Damn thing suddenly cracked the tree's heart, and swiftly a swarm of angry wasps gathered into an S shape, a dark and ominous, ghostly shape, and flew straight at their agitator. By this time, most of the neighbors were holding up their iPhones, filming, and while Sal saw the whole thing in slow motion, the scene wouldn't move so slow on social media for people who didn't have as much at stake in the old tree. "Son of a bitch," Dom screamed, and they swarmed around him just like in the movies, and covered by thousands of wasps. Dom wasn't recognizable. He became inhumane. The massive swarm took the shape of a woman, a ghostly woman. Sal, dazed, knew. He looked at Dom, but he saw Weary. Despite the bees, Dom's middle finger stayed firm on the throttle, and he swung and swung and swung the chainsaw, angry at existence, swinging at wasps, darting around him, on him, in him, but shadows don't break. Finally, Dominic lost the fight, crashing to the lawn. Sal, still standing, still in silence, started towards Dom, now still in lifeless body. Sal moved wearily towards his father, no longer afraid, carving through wasps' storm. Dom still swarmed, lay still in the grass. Sal kneeled, reaching out to his father, then someone clasped his shoulder. "Don't touch him. He's fear. He's still fear." Sal turned around and saw Weary. Sal didn't say anything. He just stared up at Weary, who stood still, wearing a smile, still wearing a dream. Wow.